standards. Who's going to win? We'll head to Consulate first. Furia and Secret on deck.
An important note right before we get into things, because Team Secret are starting attack on the orange team, this ban overview is going to be flipped. So ignore what's on the screen. Furia will ban Blitz to start off this series, and that makes a lot of sense. Furia struggled hard in the shield meta over the last 6 to 9 months, and they really fell off largely because of that meta. Secret thrived. They became the best shield team in all of Europe, so it makes a lot of sense that Furia would take one out. They'll probably be banning shields all series long. Team Secret will answer with a Deimos ban and a Kaid ban, both extremely powerful operators here on a map like Consulate. Kaid very good for that basement bomb site, of course, inside of Garage, and then Deimos just always a powerhouse. You like to see a lot of players on Furia bringing that operator. It has been mostly JV92 through the tournament so far that's been bringing that Deimos, and hasn't had the most amount of success with it, but still can be a menace. And I'm sure Herds KZ would like to pick up that op as well from time to time. Furia finish off with a Valkyrie ban on Consulate as well. A common ban for them, but also an op that they do play quite a bit as a team, mostly just in response to how Secret like to play, I'm sure. So, all ops off the board. We'll load into Consulate. This is one of my favorite bomb sites in the entire game, Parker. I would say this is my single favorite bomb site in all of Rainbow Six Siege. It's console office and meeting room. And the reason it's my favorite bomb site is because Tachanka is viable. It's not the only reason, but it is one reason. The amount of op variety that we see on this bomb site is much larger than the other sites that you tend to see. Leapox will likely be playing up on that top floor inside of CEO, using those fire grenades to stop a CEO plant or stop a meeting plant that walks in through admin. Do a lot of cool stuff with this Tachanka. Bringing out the barbed wire this time around too, instead of the shield. Nade will be on the Clash, which is another unique operator to see being brought out in Rainbow Six Siege. Again, can be really good to cross the angle inside of CEO, cross the window to get into a better spot to deny the plants. Can also be really useful over here in the vending hall where Nade currently is to stall players out, make sure they can't get past that choke point that is so powerful on this map. And Team Secret answer with a Sens, a Jackal, a Dokkaebi, Thermite, and Capitao.
I fixate a little bit on that Tachanka. I don't want to fixate a little bit on the Tachanka. I should specify, but he's an operator who doesn't really seem to get a ton of potential or really live up to that potential that he has. Just lost the HUD there for a second, but it's back. Very good. Welcome back. Welcome back to our HUD. Lots of smokes here, lots of disruption from Team Secret. Nuisance operators, as they're referred to as. Jackal, Dokkaebi, Sends to a certain extent. Nitro Cell tossed out to the window. Herds misses that opportunity.
Forward defense from Furia. They're taking a lot of risks. KZ bottom yellow. Herds here at the top of yellow. They're hunting for a pick right at the early part of this round, which you don't see often on this bomb site, just because it is often quite favorable for the defenders. They don't need to get aggressive early to get that pick, but Furia are confident.
Both of these teams swinging for each other, but nobody's walking away with a kill, at least for the time being. Herds wanted to slow them down on the top of yellow stairs. Had that shotgun out and ready.
Nobody's in the basement. All 5 defenders are top floor, so June is flank watching for nothing at the moment. They're maybe paranoid on the side of Team Secret because they saw so much early aggression, but all of that early aggression immediately ran back to site. So there's nothing to worry about in terms of flanks.
Very slow execute right now, and as you pointed out earlier on, there's a lot of ways to go about cracking this nut that is this bomb site. Groovy on the board first. How about a second for Groovy? He sprints past Long Desk, now heading over towards the A-bomb site. It's just him and the Lord. Leapox gunning one down. He's got his gadget in hand. He'll have to bank it because the diffuser is being planted. Virtue taking some damage from the fires of that Shamika launcher. 2 kills to his name, but the upside-down rappel is now the bigger issue. This is so challenging to deal with. Leapox trying to long-arm it, but he's still going to be visible. Oh, maybe not.
Is he?
Maybe not. Maybe not. Excuse me?
No.
What did we just witness?
That's a troll. The plant spot was so far to the right. Usually it's tucked right up in the corner.
Yeah.
Between, you know, the wall and the bookshelf, because that's where it's going to be, that you can't disable it without being shot. Honestly, a gift as Philippox swung around and saw where the defuse kit was planted. And he knew he's got the sound cue if they did repel at the time. Recognizing that repellent was going to be far too late. Beautifully done. Bit of a troll from Virtue in that round, of course. He's usually thought to be so good and such a great support player, and he is, but mistakes happen, and at the biggest level, the very first round up against a team like FURIA, you're going to get punished for that. If it's a 1v4, 1v3 technical for Philippox, beautifully executed. That's one secret they're going to want back.
I'm just flabbergasted at that one.
There was no pressure, right? I mean, they knew the last guy alive was Tachanka. There was no reason to plant so far away from the wall.
2 of them were on rappel, but where was the third? There were 3 bodies still alive for Team Secret, at least if my count is correct.
I think he was last seen on balcony because he shot the camera. We saw that from Philippox's POV.
Right.
So he might have rappelled up the roof, might have been trying to go down below. Tough one.
Yeah, that's gonna haunt them if this ends up going in favor of FURIA. Boy, oh boy, you can't be letting rounds like that happen. Certainly not, especially when the structure from Team Secret was just so much better, but they bottle it at the final seconds. Philippox was the only person to get 2 kills. That was it. Nobody else on the team was able to get on the board, and man, not just 2 high-profile kills, high-impact kills, and then the counter disable. Great round for the captain of the team. There's no way.
Joom's getting pretty deep here. Birds is over by lobby. It's probably the closest target. That's the outline.
Got droned in as well. Logic bombs go off, and we can't hear a peep.
There's 2 in the basement, 2 above him.
Fine as a church mouse.
It's going to be hard to do anything off of this, even if he finds a pick, because there's so many players up above.
JV92 is staring in this direction, by the way.
Yeah, JV should get this kill.
Oh, maybe not, maybe not, maybe not. The moment that Joom leans, though, JV92 will hear this. Like, JV92's got to know somebody's there.
He's suspicious for sure.
The question is where did they get that intel from? Is there a default cam that was up? Herds dies to Adrian. AZ firing back. Nobody, though, from Secret taking any damage. Look at that. Blackbeard is off to the races. We are just stuck on one perspective. JV92 finds 2. Oh, my goodness. It's the FURIA show at the moment. We thought Joom was going to be able to accomplish something. No. It's like swatting at flies. They annoy us, bat them away. FURIA takes 2 in a row.
Yeah, very little map control. Obviously, the Nook was walking through part of that map, but for the rest of it, it was largely based on the main breach from what we could see in our first-person POV. Did feel like maybe a little bit more could have come out of that Nook play spiral stairs. Obviously, JV92, his laser was seen on the wall, so that might have been able to prompt like a swing out with a pre-fire. But again, I think JV92... I think he was likely suspicious of the spiral because maybe he just knows that that's a gap in their weakness and that he needs to be watching that just in case there's a rush play or a Nook play. And then he probably heard him at some point going for a lean or something. Well done by JV92 to lock down those couple of frags. Now FURIA get a pretty comfortable lead. We should mention once again that Consulate is a very defender-sided map. So a 4-2 would be kind of typical. To come out from FURIA. That said, the way Secret have lost these rounds have been maybe a little concerning. The second round was quite dominant for FURIA. The first round was kind of, it was better for Secret until one fatal blunder. So as we head to this piano bomb site, the tertiary site, just keep an eye out for Secret to maybe bounce back, grab their first pick in the quarter. First round. Would be nice. 3-0 means a full site rotation, and that's always unfun.
Oh, it's hard to do. Look at the numbers on FURIA before. Yeah, KZ going 14 and 22 against Cyclops is just flat out not going to be good enough.
And it's in the world beater.
It was Shoe Reap.
Shoe Reap, yeah.
Shoe Reap was the god that day. CAG Osaka will be in action against Shopify Rebellion. I don't remember if it's on this channel or the next channel. I think it's on this one. I believe so. I'd have to check.
Well, it doesn't matter because everybody is currently watching both streams at once.
Right.
So,
of course, how could I forget that?
I don't know how you wouldn't.
What if you're on a phone?
You have 2 phones.
That seems like a very sensible purchase.
Yeah, well, I mean, how else are you going to watch 2 Rainbow Six streams? You got your A stream phone and your B stream phone.
You can
set them up.
Dual screen phones, can you not? Where it has 2 apps open at the same time?
Yeah, you can.
Twitch on one, YouTube on the other.
But what's that resolution going to be like? You know, you got to get the 2 phones set up. Otherwise, you're not a real viewer, really.
Get an HDMI cable, put it on a dock, put the cable into a TV, watch it on your TV in the hotel room.
Okay.
Look at us. We're developing strategies here that modern science really allows us to develop. It's quite the thing. BMWs don't have turn signals yet, but we're able to watch multiple streams on a hotel TV. Isn't that crazy? They're off to the races, by the way. Leapox with the very first kill. It's onto Groovy there with the logic bombs, and there goes the Dokkan who's controlling the gadget. Now it's Joom taking damage, same with Savage. Herds also softened up. Right now, FURIA just looking like they cannot be stopped. This is Team Secret's map, so a terrible start for the hometown team, if you want to call them that. Joom's got that diffuser. Adrian annihilated by JB92. Nitro Cell goes off. Joom survives for the time being. He will rely an awful lot on Virtue, who's still looking for his first kill. Opportunity to take out KZ, but it will evade him for the time being, and now it's Virtue inside a closet taking down Hertz. Thank goodness that thing has 900 bullets. Herds and KZ will both die. Herds will need to ace, or Virtue will need to ace clutch after killing Herds, as the last 3 that remain are all on FURIA, and there was nary a kill from Secret before that.
Frustration.
Look at Virtue's face. He's dialed in.
He's dead.
Jinx, you owe me a cola.
Okay.
You don't get to talk until I say your name. Well, Jesse, that was quite the round, wasn't it?
Yes, Parker, it was. Back-to-back rounds, we've seen Team Secret go for a very kind of shortcut style push. In round 2, they mostly focused on the breach and a pinch-down spiral to have the bomb site go their way. Then on Piano, instead of full clearing the top floor, they did their best to try to toss in the Candelas, distract the top floor players, and then just hit the site direct through the front door. And these are both good strategies on Consulate, right? I like both those styles of push. We see them work from time to time. They're not bad strategies. They're also not working against FURIA. And at some point, you got to recognize that. They tried it twice. I think this tack timeout where we're probably going to get to see Team Secret discuss things a little bit about how that style of push wasn't really working for them. Maybe go for a bit more of a full clear next time they end up on Piano, next time they end up on Garage. We'll go back to the top floor for round number 4 almost as a guarantee, although Split Site does see a bit of play here in competitive. But it really does feel like FURIA's anchors are unmovable objects. They cannot get destroyed. They cannot get moved out of position. They just seem like rocks in the server, and so it's going to be really tough for FURIA, for Secret, to get past this at some point. The world champs are just looking like world champs.
That's quite the greasy play from above. FURIA was always bound to bounce back. This team has way too much talent on it for them to not excel. This really depends on their opponents. I don't think anybody saw the 2-0 victory for KAG coming at the expense of FURIA. That one was an absolute stunner. And dare I say it, is the most lopsided and unpredictable matchup that we've had so far at this event. Would you agree?
Definitely. It's upset of the tournament.
So far.
Until KAG beat FURIA in the grand finals, yeah.
I'd like you to repeat what you just said.
What?
See, I heard something in my ears, but I don't actually believe that that's what you said.
I said the world champions are looking like they're back, I think. A while ago.
I think you said when KAG beats FURIA in the World Championship Finals, Grand Finals.
Oh, that. Yeah.
No, KAG is going to beat Raza Company Academy in the Grand Final.
You're right.
Chat, would you like that? KAG versus Raza Company Academy is the SI Grand Finals. What do you think?
Listen, usually it's bad if you don't have a regional representative in the grand finals, but KAG are kind of the people's team, you know? I think the viewers would get behind that.
I am very excited to see a lot of friends, and dare I even say it, family in our Rainbow Six scene here in Boston. It will be good to have another event in America, I'll tell you that much. Atlanta was the last event that we held here, and then before that it was Charlotte. Great crowds.
Great crowds.
That Charlotte crowd was excellent.
People talk down on NA crowds, but American crowds, they stand up.
The reason why they talk down on NA crowds is because they only chant the same two things.
Okay, well, they chant them loud, and that's all I care about. Let's go X, and what's the other one?
Defense. Oh, speaking of defense, Adrian striking through KZ, and the defenders have suffered a huge blow. Immediately, Adrian responds with an adrenal surge. Still 2 more of those abilities available for the Finka. It's a double shield stacked up over towards Yellow Stairs. Savage and Groovy working together. As that one pick is just enough as they now maneuver elsewhere. Herds shifted off his position inside a bathroom as grenades go flying in, but he lives.
But you're getting ready for another plant, too. These shields kind of make that space to enable Virtue to jump on in, cause this chaos. Ruby and Savage, this is the one thing that was really stopping Furia through the second stage. First firebolt goes out, answered with some more utility.
Nade and Philippox both gunned down. The only player from Furia on the board at this point is JV92. It was also Philippox's first death. JV and Herds, last 2 standing, and oh my, take the battle to him. Keep going. Nice play by Herds. Punished by Adrian at top Yellow Stairs. JV92 will now need to confront the Monty, who will keep him as far away as he can from that diffuser. Monty dropping the shield, and it's a missed opportunity for JV92. Honestly, looks like he ran out of mouse pad on that one. As he pivoted and look, he just missed it. Monty getting the job done, and Team Secret are on the board.
And we saw it through the wall. We saw the outline. Much better plant spot right in the corner. Virtue, that's good to see. Cleaning that up. Again, on the top floor, the gunfights definitely go the way of Team Secret. I don't think we'll see Furia run that bomb site back. It seems like the only one with a... Maybe you're just a little too obvious on their positioning, right? When there's no map to clear, when the bomb site is the top floor, Furia can, or Team Secret can get in very together, very early and start working those picks rather than having to worry about finding those roamers, and that seems to be the strong point from Team Secret. Beautifully done again, causing a lot of that chaos, being a big distraction with the Blackbeard and Monty. You saw in the 1v1 against the Blackbeard in Bathroom, even though Blackbeard lost that fight, he wasted so much good time just because it takes a long time to kill a Blackbeard. You got to walk up to him, you got to punch him, hope you can hit the head. You can't, punch him again, hope you hit the head. It's the same for every single one of our shields. Even if you can win that 1v1, it's not always simple, and the trade came out immediately from Team Secret, which was excellent to see.
I think the scoreline kind of papers over the fact that Team Secret probably should have won round number 1.
Yep.
And we're in good position in round number 2 until things then fell apart very quickly. Much closer than the score would suggest, and that goofy long arm by Philippox is something that will be replayed over and over again. I'm certain of that.
There's nothing to hack here. You look at the default, but otherwise, other than Banshees, I guess you can hack a Pest or Goo. I mean, I don't think hack Goos is not really going to go their way.
It costs you a little bit of utility, that's all. Brava is an operator who, in response to certain gadgets, though I will say that even just hacking default cams and the odd bulletproof camera can prove to be incredibly valuable.
For sure.
Just depends on whether that value is more than another operator. For example, you look at this lineup from Team Secret, you could add potentially a Buck here. You could potentially add somebody with more soft destruction than what they're looking at. You could add a Capitao to this lineup. There's a lot of flexibility. Yeah, I mean, you could add a Twitch to this lineup. It's strange that there isn't one. See, it's a little odd. Herds with the leadoff pick onto Oryx, who's, oh my, being brought, as I would imagine, a response to those shields that were used in the previous round. Oryx getting a significant buff where he pulls his gun out much faster. Herds finally finished off by the para of Adrian. That kill will need to be collected as he's bleeding out on the floor. Philippox is just waiting. I don't think he's going to go for the jump out. No. He returns fire over towards Piano. His position known. KZ dies, and it's a 3v3. Well, it's a 3v4, but Herds at the moment is completely immobile. Philippox worried down inside of Piano as to where this target is. Nitro Cell goes out, Adrian tucked away. There goes Herds. And Philippox completely bottles the fight. Adrian with another kill. Adrian with 5 so far. Groovy with 3. Both Adrian and Groovy well ahead of their tallies in their previous matchup against Shopify Rebellion. That's a good thing for Team Secret.
This nitro from Nade might be a big problem as our observer shows us that a Fuse Kit is down by bottom yellow. That will need to be retrieved. They've got a bit of util on the side of Team Secret as well, though. 2 flashbangs and most importantly, 2 smokes. If Adrian goes to pick up that defuse kit, which it looks like he is, he could try to plant underneath that smoke while Joom covers either from above or from the breach. He's actually going to hit the back instead, as this bulletproof camera will see him. This jig might be up, Parker.
He's being completely watched by this, but he doesn't care. He's fearless. Running in, absorbing an awful lot of damage. Adrian has to step off of the plant, but he gets the kill. JV92 will now fight for his life, eliminating Joom. Can he catch Adrian before the diffuser gets planted? Adrian hops off, and JV92 wins it. The T5's doing all the work on both the Oryx and the Legion. And what a gun it is. FURIA goes back to their winning ways. 4-1 so far through this first half.
Philippox early in the round might not be able to hit the shots onto Adrian, but JV92 absolutely can. Beautifully done. Down there on the 1v2, I suppose. Taking out both those players on the bottom floor. I was a little nervous with Joom getting red ping constantly, but he did do his job more or less. He got the 1v1, and then just a really tough decision from Adrian at the end there. He was so close to finishing the plant. Look how close that was, but I do think if he sticks, he loses the round. So pulling off probably the correct call there. Just didn't quite have the time to hit his shot. So unfortunate from Adrian. 4-1 now is the scoreline. JV92, an excellent clutch. He was their best player yesterday with a 1.12 KDR. Fantastic play put together coming out from the Brazilian player. Often thought of as one of the most ridiculous players on FURIA. JV92 is the guy with the personality. If you ever get the chance to talk to him, he's a clown, but in a good way.
Look, as somebody with big red hair who's been called a clown many times, and maybe not in a good way, just immediately hear that term and hackles go up. So.
JV92's
he's a good guy.
He is. They're popular.
I do like him. He's a good kid. Honestly, the FURIA guys they were easy to hate at the beginning because they came out of nowhere. They were so good. They were so strong.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, the whole issue with Charlotte came about where they were, I think, rightfully upset about the ping situation, but then maybe got a bit too upset. And unfortunately, their fans dogpiled a bunch of people at the actual event. And that's figuratively dogpiled, not literal dogpile. There weren't fans throwing their bodies at players. But
nor were there literal dogs.
It's correct, except for the new op that's coming out, which is a dog, I'd like to remind you. Anyway.
Don't just lie on broadcast. What not seen the last time we casted.
The new operator's a dog. It smells. They send you a device that allows you to smell at home. That's how you control it. Anyway, just in case anybody's curious, I'm leaking it here live on broadcast for you. I have no fear. What are they going to do? Sue me?
Your ex isn't here.
That's true. I do have no fear. X.
We had a point at some point in this conversation.
Yeah. Ooh. Nice shot by Herds. I completely forgot. Oh! Joom with 2. My point was that it was easy to dislike this FURIA team at the beginning when they played under W7M, but honestly, if you spend some time with them, you'll very quickly realize that they're all really, really nice guys. Philippox in particular might be one of the nicest pro players I've run across. An excellent entry by Joom and might have just won the round for his team. Pulverizing that Mozzie and the Legion. Now the assault on the top floor begins.
Joom's not been very nice.
Oh my. Excellent recoil control by KZ. Shoot away at the legs of the Black. Ruby also dying means we're right back to a 3v3. Philippox and KZ joined up side by side. Keep in mind the bomb site is not upstairs. It's on that main floor. Team Secret had hoped to wrestle some of that control away from FURIA on the top floor. They've not been successful in that endeavor. That was Joom's main focus. 3 players from Team Secret will now need a bit more of a head-on execute instead of dealing with the other parts of the map.
Yeah, I mean, they're coming around front door here. This is going to be where the plant comes down. 0 pressure up above. They just got to use these Capital bolts and pray that that's enough to stop a plant denial from the vertical. But watch out because there's a lot of FURIA players up above.
And here go the smokes. You've just got to start shooting bullets into the places you can't see. Great shot by Virtue. KZ had eliminated Savage earlier on. There goes Adrian, and it's Virtue all alone. Same bomb site. It looks to be the same result. Virtue, man on an island. Maybe not anymore. He's not in Australia. He's here in America. Get it? A man on an island. Australia isn't an island. He's from Australia. Don't you like how all those things go together? Isn't that great?
No, that was great, Parker.
5-1 Furia.
5-1 Furia. Tough attacking half coming out from Team Secret again. That is to be expected on Consulate, but 5-1 is still below expectations for Team Secret in the first half. Of course, on their map pick as well. So this is going to be one where we want to start seeing, a better defensive half. It's tough to be losing so many early picks on the side of Furia, but still not be able to convert if you're Team Secret. They had such a great entry from Joom, and they just started bleeding bodies. Then all of a sudden, they didn't have time to clear that top floor. That mid part of the round, after between the opening picks and the execute, just was a complete disaster where they didn't take any space. They didn't get any extra picks. They ended up losing too many bodies. And it's just awkward. The last couple Furia members able to rotate back to site and win the 2v1, finish up the clutch. Only 2 attacks will separate Furia from winning their opponent's map pick and sending us to Clubhouse with a 1-0 lead. I think heading into this tournament, people probably would have said Furia were the favorites. It's tough because they had such a bad stage 2. So I think, honestly, you could go either way with this. They're certainly the more experienced team and historically the better team. But after yesterday, I honestly thought Secret might come into this and just have a fantastic time against Furia. It hasn't happened.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's easy to rest on your laurels, especially if you're Furia. You've been the winningest team over the last 2 years in Rainbow Six Siege. Nobody's really been able to slow you down, except for maybe yourself. No, FaZe came pretty close. They did lose to G2 in SI 2 years ago, but this event, just as we say with G2, seems to be something special for this Brazilian team. Team Secret's just another obstacle for them to get to the finals. Herd suffering a little bit of damage with the very first interaction. It's a cheeky little drone by Nade, but it's spotted by Joom. Herd's taking care of Savage. Opening pick for Furia. They have been absolutely phenomenal when it comes to this map. Best part is for their fans, they've got Clubhouse up next, Jesse. So you go from one good map to 2, just as we saw in the BDS game that you and I casted earlier. It's like both maps are beneficial for one of these teams. Joom trying to take care of KZ.
Oh, awkward for Furia. They want a CEO plant, but they can't get a pick, and that makes it even harder as Adrian steps up to the plate and shuts down Herds. There's still a Goyo canister on the CEO window, too. They weren't able to destroy it with their one and only grenade, so they're going to have to bait it out with this Amaru. It's going to be so awkward to get this done. Amaru just went to the roof. They're actually going to slow this down a little bit. Usually you see Amaru with the fuse kit on this map, but Nade has it instead.
KZ's HP means he's not going to be able to get in and plant. He will almost certainly die.
For sure.
A single hop of the toxic canister from Adrian will kill KZ, so you got to make some changes. Give it to a different operator. That's exactly what they're doing here. In the midst of the smoke, Joom trying something. They're going to run each other over. Groovy and Virtue with 2 very big kills. It's all up to KZ and Nade now. Furia hoping for match point. They're very close to it, and it might still come, but it might take a while. Now Nade punished over by Yellow Stairs, and it's all KZ with 35 seconds and 8 of HP. He'll repel in towards top of Visa Stairs. Position's now been given away. Team Secret doesn't need to move a muscle, and they won't. Barring a disaster from Team Secret, KZ will win this engagement. Oh my. Oh, okay, I was going to say. Once he got that down, the last 2 players were very low HP. It was winnable. But how about a big round from Groovy, a player I was actually going to highlight as not again performing up to snuff. Only 3 kills when that round started for Groovy on your screen right now. But the 2K, 5 kills through 7 rounds. Still below where he on his role should be, but I think that's a far better performance than we saw from him yesterday in his matchup against Shopify Rebellion.
Yeah, and swapping a defense can make all the difference for certain players. You know, if Groovy's going to step up on the second half, that could be huge. was actually his weaker half yesterday against Shopify Rebellion, where he put up a .47 kill-death ratio specifically on the defense. FURIA in that last round didn't really feel like they ever had their util clear. Players ended up going down one by one. You saw the Dread Mines that was still effective at the top yell that got Virtuous second kill. Oyo canisters dissuaded a plant on the CEO window. The Toxic Babes were impactful. Everything that Secret brought, FURIA didn't seem to have an answer for, so kind of how that top floor bomb site goes sometimes. It feels like both on attack and defense, Team Secret are the much better team on top floor. I suspect if we head to overtime, won't see it from FURIA, but will from Secret. We'll also certainly see it in round number 10, assuming we get that far.
I lost track of rounds there, and I was like, wait, why would we not make it to
Yeah,
round?
we're getting close to the end of
Why would
this.
we not make it to round 10? And then I realized, oh, wait, sorry. Okay.
It could end 7-2. I don't think it will, right? Team Secret, they've had a tough time this game, but they're on defense on Consulate. They're on basement now. They should be able to win one of these next 2 rounds at least, and I think both is very achievable.
Time flies when you're having fun.
It does, Parker. It does.
This match just felt like an eternity with you.
I don't know if that's a compliment.
Oh, no, it's an insult directly to your face.
Okay.
You're
Wow.
welcome. Why don't you sit on that, let that one marinate for a little bit there, sweater boy.
Really only Jume top floor. He is kind of alone. There might be players down below to help him out, but even then, not really.
No real standout performer on the side of Team Secret. Jume is definitely capable of it. I'll have to sit this one out. He's found by that logic bomb and then punished by FURIA, who on the run haven't lost any HP whatsoever. Control of the top floor now, Jesse. This is a bottom floor execute, so once you cut through that top floor, you got to turn and pivot over. Buck of Herds doing some damage to Groovy, getting him before he can hit the hatch.
Uh-oh.
Troubling signs for the Europeans.
Secret brought so much utility just for the roam, not for the site. The fact that they're now losing on the roam is a disaster. If they just go back and hunker site, they don't have the util for it, so they've got to step up and get aggressive to get this man count back. How do you, though, with these drones and the logic bombs?
The only thing I will say about this bunker setup that might unfold is that there are 3 Kiba barriers ready to be deployed by Virtue. That will buy you some time. The old Azami, where you need explosives to take care of them, that would be very, very daunting. But now you can just mag dump into them, and they'll break over time. Virtue uses one over towards pipes.
2 nitros as well.
Imagine he's going to want to use one on that yellow door to buy time.
Maybe a back hit here.
Adrian has also gone all the way to the top of Spiral Stairs and is looking for a flank. That is an intriguing prospect, given how many players on FURIA are still alive. You're going to have 1 to 2 of those Brazilians watching for the flank. Dokkaebi of KZ in a potential collision course, and he wins the engagement. There go all the Kiba barriers from Virtue. Savage taking down KZ. That was the Dokkaebi over towards Spiral Stairs. Now Virtue posted up, watching the garage. A vault in will make this FURIA team very vulnerable. They're running out of time. Virtue's last one to be found, and he tries to hide. The clock was his best friend, but it doesn't quite get there. FURIA moves to map point.
A little scary with that clock on the side of FURIA is the push ended up being a little bit slow. There was about 10 seconds left on that clock, but they eventually find the rest of those kills. Well, winnable for Team Secret if a couple more gunfights went their way, but just didn't materialize. I think you're never going to be pointing the fingers at the anchors there. The roamers not being able to get anything done. It felt like they got picked off very solo. Jume was top floor, and then on his rotate back to the main floor was picked off, no help around him. Then the vertical picks came through to get more of those frags inside of Piano. It just didn't feel like that roam was set up in a way where where the roamers were in position to help each other, you know? It felt like they really were solo individual roamers rather than being able to play together. Now it's going to be 6-2 as the scoreline. We have a slight tech issue. Shouldn't be long.
Tech issue's not afflicting Secret, by the way. The tech issue is seemingly befallen Nade.
Yeah, Nade's not chosen an operator right now.
He had his headphones off, as you saw very briefly when the round came to an end. Seems to be back on, and there's the pink super light on his mouse pad as he locks in Capitao for the time being, but every single attacker is capable of changing their lineup once they see what is being presented by the defenders. Some last-minute changes by Secret. They lock in the Bandit and the Pulse, seemingly out of nowhere. This isn't our first Pulse at the event, is it?
No, it's not. But it is really falling off in terms of pick rate. We do see Pulse rarer and rarer. This is one of his best sites, so it's not a surprise to see Pulse come out on piano. Playing inside of the garage can be really powerful because a lot of that floor is soft, and you can, in theory, deny any plant with the Nitrocell of Pulse. You would have to go through the floorboards if they plant just on that left side of piano because a bit of that is hard, but for the majority of this floor, you can deny the plant with a Nitrocell. So you do often see Pulse down below. They've also got a Solus, who could be playing in the basement as well and doing the exact same thing, denying a plant on any soft floor. Sometimes you'll see the Pulse go in the basement and the Solus play up above to deny a plant. Right now, even Adrian on the Pulse is playing up above, but I anticipate when we get to the last, minute 30, one of the two will rotate down.
Look at the information on this lineup, by the way. 2 bulletproof cameras, one brought by Joom, one by Savage. All of those goo mines will act as mini alarms as well when they get stepped on. You've got the Pulse, obviously, with the cardiac sensor, and then you've got Solus being able to see with her gadget. That's a tremendous amount of information that Secret is going to be able to collect. Now, just because you have access to that doesn't necessarily mean it's actually going to work. There's a possibility that all that information does very little, and you still get run over by FURIA. Only time will tell, but there's certainly an idea that Secret is putting forward. Adrian takes matters into his own hands. Down goes Herds. That's your one of 2 hard breachers. Potentially your main hard breacher on the ace, depending on where they wanted that Hibana on nade to go. Great first pick for Team Secret.
That's a lot of util off the board. Might slow things down when they get to their execute, but KZ's far deeper than they realize, and he finds a bunch of damage on Virtue, the head as well. Equalize at 4.
Rams will go to work upstairs. Those boogie drones tearing through the floor. Not just doing destructive work, but also awful lot of noise. Logic bombs will go off. KZ no longer having any gadgetry available other than the flashbangs. He knew Adrian was trapped down below, and there goes the Pulse. Where, oh where, is that Solus? Potentially also lurking and roaming around, and yes, Savage tucked in over towards yellow stairs. Lowest amount of kills on the team. Seemingly opposite performance that he put in yesterday.
Casey's been around the world for the 2K on this round. He went top floor, mid floor, bottom floor. Watch out in a city near you to see if he's coming to your town.
Ooh, where do I check?
Twitch.tv/Rainbow6.
Firing it up right now. It says he's not coming.
He's not coming to Boston?
No, he's not coming to my town, Toronto.
Oh.
Yeah. It says he's in Boston right now.
Ooh, okay.
Tickets are available.
Okay.
This is very quiet and tense, frankly, between these two teams. FURIA with 4 alive, Secret with 3. It's a Secret's map. They're going to fight for their life. They equalize. KZ goes down. Down goes Groovy. Down goes Joom. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. The Solus of Savage is caught over towards yellow as well. 3 players from the World Champions all looking for this final kill. They've got their own map up next, and they want a reason to celebrate. Savage gets 1. The time about to run out. Nade will need to plant. Savage against Nade with Fellapox to watch, and it's Fellapox to do it. It might have been Team Secret's map on paper, but in actuality, the Brazilian squad of FURIA takes it, and they take it in a hurry. FURIA prevails on Consulate.
Gonna need to see a bounce back from Team Secret. That was not the map that we saw once and twice up against Shopify Rebellion yesterday. That looked much more like map number 3. 2 in a row, including yesterday, that Team Secret can't seem to get a handle on the game plan. They fall to FURIA. They'll have a few minutes now to regroup as Clubhouse is up next. Things could get very, very scary for Team Secret if they can't get that one done.
Yeah, I mean, FURIA could have a 2-0. Do they get it? We'll find out in a couple minutes.
Keep an eye out for contact.
Available now.
Tap, tap, yeah, I want that. No lines, I don't cut back. Sweet, salty, and all that. Let loose, come get that. Can you play that back, back, back? Can you run that back, back, back? I'm trying to play that back, back, back. I want that. Tap, tap, let's go, let's go. Tap, tap, let's go, let's go. Tap, tap, let's go, let's go. Right here, can you feel? Let's go. Tap, tap, let's go, let's go. Tap, tap, let's go, let's go. Tap, tap, let's go, let's go. Right here, can you feel that? Ooh, you feel that? Ooh, the real back. Ooh, I'm still that. Ooh, you catch that? Ooh, I guess that. The best back. Yeah, yeah. 30,000 up on my pallet. Might jump out if I'm wildin'. Catch my flow, I'm so stylish. Tap, tap, real smooth. Can you play that back, back, back? Can you run that back, back, back? I'm trying to play that back, back, back. I want that. Tap, tap, let's go, let's go. Tap, tap, let's go, let's go. Tap, tap, let's go, let's go. Right here, can you feel? Let's go.
There is a fine line between ambition and greatness. The only thing harder than getting to the top is staying there.
Nice shot by Nade. Army crawling his way. Turns to answers back, but Nade! Excuse me!
Handy. Nade. Oh, shuts down his brother! Into red time we go. Where's the response? The gap was through.
Have you ever noticed that nobody ever asks, when does Ashen play? That's because when SSG hit the stage, people generally know.
Second! And the counter disabled to win the round and has done very little since. Oh my goodness, Benjamaster with two.
This is gonna stick for SSG, Des.
It is, and look at the cover. J9 is there. Back room, it's killed 4!
This is it. You look at both sides and you think there's somebody who's gonna step up, get slipping, finds himself a second, Des. Make it a third. It's a 3K.
The king without a crown. BDS have conquered a continent.
Fire was the best console that we've seen. Oh my, always is a target.
This can be made successfully.
Information from the bees. It goes deep. Shotgun.
And he swings on to Dodes. Vintage Breede showing up, running out of time.
Round of the corner, bees. Information. Shaiko pushing for it. Nafe is there.
This team has talent, experience, style, and a fish.
Creeps in the 1v1. Relocating towards Raptor. What a swing and a quad. Disgusting quad.
Ian rhymes with Buck. They will get the flanked out leader. Again, taking another 1v1. He knows the plan is close and he gets the headshot kill.
When he'll move in, and it doesn't matter because never mind. Time, right? He's got to push forward. Reeps might be able to hop up before he gets there.
I'm sure Secret envisioned a different result when they picked this map, but you can envision all you want. You got to actually manifest the result that you desire, and in this case, it was FURIA all the way down, outfoxing Team Secret every step of the way on Consulate. Team Secret struggling to muster more than just a couple rounds here, and boy, oh boy, did FURIA get the job done very quickly. Jesse, what's your main takeaway for Consulate?
Main takeaway is that they really weren't being able, or they weren't map clearing at all. They wanted to, especially those attacks, they wanted to go direct to site time after time, and they just weren't able to have success in the early round. It felt like FURIA were often getting those opening picks. It felt like FURIA were often heading into that layer NXT with a bit of a man advantage. Even when they weren't, it was blunders that were opening up clutch opportunities. It was good clawbacks from FURIA. Maybe Secret would get an opening 2K, say from Jume on a Blackbeard, but it didn't seem to matter because there was always a response coming out from FURIA. This is not an easy team to play against, right? This is, by many estimations, the greatest team that has ever played Rainbow Six Siege. You can debate that one, but they're definitely top 2. FURIA have been so good for so long, and Secret are finding out the hard way. Like, this is not an easy team to go up against. You can see the stats now on our screen. The majority of Secret players, nobody had a terrible game. I don't think you put this on any one individual. Certain rounds were better for some players than others, but it really did feel like all together they weren't able to work as a team to have that roam clear, to have that roam game. And it always just felt like their anchors were being put in a difficult situation.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to pinpoint for me what exactly the main issue was on Team Secret. This is the 4th map in a row now where Groovy has underperformed his contemporaries and underperformed the rest of the team. He had a good performance out of Adrian. I mean, at least one of the better performances. But when it's a 7-2, there's not really much that you're going to be able to do if you're part of that too. When you go to Clubhouse, things are going to change, right? Clubhouse is a bit less flexible than Consulate. Typically, when you play Clubhouse, you know what's going to happen half of the time without even needing to spawn into that round. Could we see a bar stage emerge? That would be quite fascinating.
Yeah, yesterday we were talking about bar stage. You called it a good site.
I did not call it a good site.
You called it a viable site.
I said all 4 sites on Clubhouse are viable.
And I said absolutely not. Bar stage is horrible. Please stop agreeing with Flynn.
I don't agree with Flynn.
And then Flynn DM'd me. He said bar stage is a great site. Ha 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 ha. So he had his day. You're empowering these beliefs in him. You're a bad influence.
I regret what I said.
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
United in our hatred of Flynn.
It's a formerly disgraced caster. Now graced caster. As he does LATAM and NA LCQs. He beat me in fantasy hockey the other week.
I'm playing fantasy hockey this week.
Actually, no, that's not true. I think we drew.
I'm currently losing to him. I'm having a rough season.
That clutch he did of Nello on, what was it, Navi. Still think about it.
No, it's one of the greatest calls of all time.
I don't agree with that. I think it was a good call.
Okay.
I don't think it was one of the greatest.
I mean, it gets played a lot.
Well, it was a good moment on Coastline. We don't see Coastline much anymore. We don't see a lot of gridlock plays, but I mean, Ambi just aced on gridlock yesterday, so
It's weird that teams don't pick Coastline anymore. It's that in Oregon.
Oregon and Coastline really haven't been played very much of this event. It's kind of strange.
Yep.
I don't really know why. You hear that?
I do. There's a bit of some audio issues.
Very poppy. Very poppy. Or it's because I say the word. Don't know what the delay is in getting into the next map, but when you look at Clubhouse, it has been one of the most played maps here at this event. In fact, there hasn't really been a lot of diversity in the maps that have been played up to this point. Obviously, no Coastline in Oregon. We talked about that.
Yep.
No Villa, no Fortress, no Yacht. None of those have been played. Skyscraper just got picked for the first time today as well. We hadn't seen any Skyscraper before that. Had very little border, very little cafe, very little layer.
It's honestly, I mean, we've had a bit of layer on other streams, and it's honestly a bit exciting because it implies that we're going to see more of it later, right? We might see these other maps, if they're being hidden by teams. A lot of the time, a team will want to restrict their map pool a bit in the earlier phase of the tournament, especially if they are confident in the games that they're playing and if they're confident in the teams that they're going up against. Might save some of these maps to bring them deeper into the pool so they can come into those later, tougher games in playoffs with fresh strategies, with fresh ideas that haven't been seen before. So I'm looking forward to seeing some great lair setups in the latter half of this tournament because we haven't seen too many just yet, and that's still a very new map.
Take some time for teams to adjust to a new map. Took them a long time to gel with Nighthaven Labs, and now it's seen as one of the best maps by a huge portion of the pro community. We'll go back to one of the maps that launched with the game, and that's Clubhouse, albeit looking a little bit different now than when it first debuted. Let's the very first ban, Jesse. Who's up next?
Capital.
Oh.
So, Furia banned first. They took out the Blitz. Team Secret banned the Capital. Again, Furia will be banning shields likely throughout this series, simply due to the fact that they are so good on the side of Team Secret playing with those operators. Do ignore the writing on your HUD. Team Secret have already banned Capital and Legion. Furia get the final ban, and it will be a Valkyrie. So, Furia keeping it consistent here.
Explain to the people what you mean by that, by the way.
There's just a little bug on the HUD where it says the wrong team if the attacking team is in orange. So it will show you that Furia banned Capital and Legion and that Secret banned Blitz and Valkyrie, but that's wrong. That's incorrect. That's flipped. In Rainbow Six Siege, it always goes defender ban, attacker, attacker, defender ban, right? So the defense bans first and last. The attack bans second and third. And it works normal for the players, to be clear. So the players don't have to deal with that. That's just a spectating thing.
By the way, meant to mention this right when we came in. Somebody tweeted at me, because I still get notifications for the platform even though I don't really use it anymore. And they go, the new operator is a dog?
I told you, if you just keep spreading false information on the broadcast, people are going to believe you. Some people are struggling with sarcasm.
So what happened was yesterday we were talking about, I can't remember what, and Jesse's like, yeah, I can smell it. And I said, how can you smell it?
One of the players said I smelled him. We had a listen in. One of the players was like, I smelled that guy. I think it was somebody on Shopify.
I think it was Rexon.
Yeah.
And then we were talking about smell-o-vision, and I said that the newest operator actually comes with a peripheral that you plug into your computer or your console device, and you can smell the other operators, and it's a dog that runs around.
Nade got dogged.
Right by kennels, actually.
Yeah, outside of
He
kennels.
got put in a crate.
Oh, boy. Shipped down to the spectating client where he'll get to watch. AZ just caught a drone. You saw that animation pop up. It's now on the top floor. He's not really in a position where he can drive it. Maybe if he hides behind this bar, he could take a look. Too much pressure, though, at the moment. Felipox and Herd's not too far away. FURIA, just like map 1, they want to get aggressive in these early rounds. They want to start the pace, especially with Nade down.
I mean, you saw him slow walk you. How was there so much delay? He failed the QuickTime event, unfortunately.
Uh-oh.
Oh my, not this again. This is a great round from Team Secret. Holy smokes, Felipox. Mountain will breathe down his neck. There's only one more he has to deal with. And he manages to take him down. He almost gets the ace, but Groovy shuts him down at the final moment. Let's go. That was so close, way too close for comfort. Felipox with 4 kills and almost aces on round 1. Should not have been that close for Team Secret.
Good effort from Felipox, but ultimately they do shut it down. Interesting to see that roam. It wasn't very committed to the top floor. It was very much a mid-floor roam from FURIA with a lot of bodies up on that mid-floor, and they kind of all got rolled over at the same time, but there was a Blackbeard sprinting through sight. So on all fronts, Team Secret come out on top, and I mean, that's what we wanted to see after Fossa. We wanted to see better roam clearing, better early game from Team Secret. Got to see a bit of that in round number 1. They can keep that trend rolling. They won't head back to the basement bomb site for a little while, most likely, but Clubhouse is one of those maps that can often feel very default. Often we see the same little mini-games. Can be very util heavy. Team Secret ignoring all of that, saying, what if we just ran through these roamers and got the picks? And they did just that. Now we head over to Gym Bedroom, where FURIA are going to be looking to run a cache extension. They start to set up over towards the east side of this map. Even 92 with some intel. Felipox is going to be playing Rafters, perhaps, on the Wamai as well. No, he was Rafters. Red Stairs instead might be the play.
Didn't really get to see the Skobos do anything on the previous round.
It did get one pick and head back to site.
I know. It was the pick on the pool table. But
Yeah.
this is a very good map for Skopos because when teams go to drone here, it takes about 1:30 to 2 minutes to full clear this map.
Yes.
Now, if you can drone the site and get a good read on where those defenders are, you don't necessarily need to drone the whole thing if you know, okay, well, we got all 5 of them in sight. And you'll see this with teams when they tackle that basement bomb site in particular, is they'll acknowledge that, okay, everybody's on the bomb site, let's figure out next steps. Skopos makes that a little bit trickier.
Yep.
Because you will often have one of those robots hiding in maybe the shower upstairs, and then you'll have one down in the basement. And it might be in a spot that you don't necessarily think of. Great for flanks.
For sure.
Just got to time it well. It's an operator with a very high skill ceiling. And whether the operator is perfectly viable or not, I think a lot of teams haven't quite mastered how to use the new Greek op.
Some cool plays that we do get to see out on Clubhouse. Chalet sees a bit of cool Scopos play as well. We see it on Lair, actually. Is a great map for Scopos, too. Not being brought out this time. I think Secret are wanting to clear this cache extension. They've got a lot of players over here, but it's 1:30. We're just opening the CC wall, so It's a bit slow to clear it. They do have full control of Garage, and they are pushing into the red stairs.
Oh!
What?
Felipox wins that one, but they double up on him on red stairs. There's another body not too far removed inside of Cash. JV92 now on the run. Joom and Savage are down. Adrian taking an awful lot of damage in the process. He outduels JV92. Only one shield remains, and it's not an attacker. It's the Clash in the hands of Nade. Realizes he might need to be a bit of an active gun. At this point, it's him and Herds. Adrian having a great start to this map. He was one of the better players on map number 1 of Consulate. Nate is in a really awful spot here, and I don't think he's going to be able to get the jump. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Okay. Can indeed.
The shield kind of protected him for a moment there. Still playing the mirror window. 30 seconds remain for Team Secret to find these last two.
Adrian going for the defuse plant. Nade taking down Virtue. Off of the plan, Adrian goes. Damage is being done from Herds. Seeking some shelter by the mattress. Herds worried about Jacuzzi. The Ace sprinting in towards bathroom to try and deal some damage. But right now, Nade is evading him for the time being. Meanwhile, off site. They lost it.
Yeah.
Wow. Excellent play by Team Secret yet again, and Groovy puts a nice try in chat.
All three of the shields didn't really find much success. I will say the shields from Team Secret did a good job of distracting, causing chaos up those red stairs. It turned into an absolute calamity as 3 Furia players ended up dying over towards that Cash side of the map. The shields themselves also, as I said, went down, but it's okay because they managed to get that space for their teammates. At the end of the day, you don't need the shield players to be getting frags. You just need them to get space so that the other teammates can start popping off around those shields, and that's exactly what happened for Team Secret. They really are using this double shield combo to such effectiveness. They've long been the shield team inside of Europe, and FURIA playing down in Brazil. They're quite used to playing shields, playing up against some strong shield teams as well, with how many good shield teams there are in that region. Secret stand a little bit more alone as the top shield team in Europe.
How many times did you say that yesterday, by the way?
What? That they were a good shield team?
Top shield team, not good shield team.
Well, the thing is, no other EU teams rely that heavily on shields. Like, BDS don't play that many shields. Virtus Pro don't play, like, any shields. G2 play some shields, admittedly, but G2 are... G2 are G2.
G2 won their game against Team Liquid today.
G2 aren't a bad team. G2 are just a lottery ticket every single game. You never know what you're going to get. I always say G2 have the highest highs
But
and
Jesse,
the
I
lowest
love
lows.
Gamba.
Well, then G2 might be the team for you. I don't know, Parker.
Okay.
I like G2. I like G2.
Oh, I lost it all.
But they certainly control when they want to.
G2 won today. They are 4-0 at the current moment atop their group. And because Joel/Team Joel, as it's affectionately referred to as, have already gone home, the rest of that group is safe. What is going on? Groovy just shot the Blackbeard in the back. This is such a messy execute. Groovy walking in. He and Virtue have taken so much damage. What the hell is going on here? Everybody firing at everybody? The attackers have control of the bomb site. The defenders have relinquished control. Jesse, the schnozberries taste like schnozberries.
Where the hell is the defuse kit? It looks like it is down there.
That is a great question. KZ over his side of Moto takes down Groovy. Virtue on a single point of HP. There's still half of the round left, by the way.
I don't think Virtue's going to use it all. He immediately goes down to KZ. Nice little cleanup. Again, they try for the fast sight hit. They did that to an extent on round number 1, but much more ready for it on the side of FURIA. Great anchor play coming out. Those SAS players on the side of FURIA. Make sure they lock that down. It was a fast hit through blue. The fuse kit was down inside of Armory super early in that rush, so we didn't really get to see the game plan unfold in the way Team Secret wanted it to. That is now the first round that FURIA have won, and notably they've won it in the first quarter, which means they'll be able to play it again through this half, and that's important because a map like CCTV Church and Arsenal can be really, really good on a map like Clubhouse, and yeah, that was not an
insignificant amount of damage, by the way,
No.
to Joom, and Joom got downed a second later as he was wondering why he got shot in the back. That's not ideal.
They had blue control. I mean, they should have realized, hey, this is where we're at. But, you know, in the chaos, things happen.
Through 3 rounds, Groovy and Adrian sit at 10 kills apiece. This is the best start to a map that they've had here at the Six Invitational. Really has been quite lackluster for these two players. Joom and Savage have had slow days, though.
For sure. Joom is playing constant shield, so I don't want to dig into his stats too badly. It's the Blackbeard, so it's a shield with a gun, but...
I mean, Blackbeards can also fry.
Yes, they can, but the way he's been playing it has been more like a shield and less like a fry cook, you know?
Right. Both of them rocking shields, by the way. Joom and Savage, the 2 players that we talked about. Active guns in the hands of the other 3 players. I guess there's an active gun in the hands of Joom, but just maybe a bit differently. Black Mirror ejected on the CCTV wall, so on repel, Groovy will continue to fire in. Nobody from the defenders playing in that position. KZ and JV92 both in good position right now on rafters as grenades get sent out and Adrian loses an awful lot of HP. The zombie unbanned, this is exactly what you come to expect. KZ gets picked back up by his own stim pistol.
Great dock usage.
Excellent docking.
You don't often see this in Rainbow Six Siege because dock is not a very high-value pick, but in a position like Rafters where Capital bolts and nades are so effective at downing those players without taking direct gunfights, that is where dock shines.
Very rare to see such extreme docking on your screen.
I'm really trying to ignore it, Parker.
What, ignore the great dock play?
No.
KZ was excellent.
Ertz is lurking in the kitchen, by the way. Not going to be immediately impactful, but just keep an eye on that. Late in the round could have some kind of an impact. The focus for the attack is largely on Garage, though. KZ sitting up here still with JV92. Secret don't have an answer, and they're kind of in a danger spot of stalling out.
I mean, obviously, jokes aside, Joom used both of those frag grenades perfectly on the KZ. The only reason why FURIA didn't suffer a worse fate is because of the operator in that position.
Yep.
So it was played very well by Team Secret. FURIA just respond with the only operator that's well-suited for this. I guess a Rook technically could have worked because you can pick yourself back up with the Rook armor. That's the new withstand that's been added.
Right.
Other than that, Team Secret really at risk of stalling out. What a shot by KZ on the Groovy. Groovy's been having a much better map so far. We'll have to wait out the next round. Now it's Savage taking some damage at the hands of Philippox. Joom looking for a pick up on rafters as he and the Mountain are right now just out of pace with the rest of this team. 30 seconds to go. Joom dies. Savage needs to work his way up those rafter stairs. He's bogged down. Virtue's the one holding Diffuser. He's got 15 seconds to get up to cache CCTV. He's by the main door, Jesse. Team Secret are stuck in the Brazilian quagmire. That is FURIA, and it's a flawless round for the defending world champs. Very well done by FURIA.
It's still 2-2, and there's only, 2 more rounds and a half, but honestly, attack timeout might be deserved after that. Twister decides it's not necessary. The problem is maybe too apparent for the players on Team Secret. So slow. Stalled out. I mean, they had one game plan that was nade out the players' rafters. That didn't work, and then we're sitting bottom garage. We're sitting outside the map. We're waiting for something to happen. And KZ says, I'll make something happen. Goes for a couple of big swings in that round and hits some beautiful shots. The reigning Six Invitational MVP is one player that you never want to be testing. Team Secret, when you give him that opportunity, when you let him just take the fights that he wants to take, he's going to start hitting shots eventually. 5-2 now is KZ. Philippox 7-3 as well on the side of FURIA. It's really been their game today on Clubhouse. These last couple of rounds are an opportunity for Secret to grab the lead, take a 4-2 split going into the second half. It's been odd. It's been an oddly paced half. Some rounds are explosive into the site immediately. Some rounds are stalling out the whole time. You got to strike some kind of a balance if we're Team Secret. Take the first minute 30, clear this cache extension. Take the next minute 30, execute on the site. Don't lose too many bodies. I feel like they need to rein it in a little bit because either they're going for quite gimmicky, I should say, shield rushes on certain parts of the map, or they're stalling out. They're not finding any way to get going, and they won't be bringing shields in round number 5, so they need some other way to start these pushes.
Might be a punch hole with the ACOG in hand for the castle of KZ.
Look at the player cam. He's looking at his teammate's screen. He's trying to see somebody else on a default or some other kind of info. Just land things.
Playing it off. What are you cooking up down there?
Nothing to find so far. They will be starting somewhat on this cash side, but immediately now we see the team start to rotate more towards Jacuzzi. Logi hatch going to get opened up. KZ finding nothing in the basement.
I was actually wrong about the map stats, by the way. I guess we've just gotten lucky with the clubhouses. Clubhouse is actually the second least played map after Skyscraper.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a bit puzzling. Most played map is Chalet, and then Bank shortly thereafter, and then Lair right after that. Lair only having 3 of the bomb sites played. Chalet has had a pretty even swath. Played, has there been a bar stage from Clubhouse? No, there's not.
We saw this.
Great site.
We saw this style of push from Secret yesterday in their match against Shopify, where Adrian is really just lurking and trying to deny this window so his teammates can stay safe.
Oh, JV92 is prepared for Adrian. That's the Lion who didn't even get to use a Lion scan. Did you see?
Nope, I didn't see one.
I didn't see nor hear it go off either. Deathmark will go out, and I think this is the right time. Jume held off the score sheet so far on Clubhouse, and he's going to track down the Azami of Herds as KZ catches him running up the stairs. KZ had spent much of that round down in the escape tunnel, dirt tunnel as you want to call it. JV92 had to deal with 2 separate targets. Savage wins that one. Virtue and Groovy taking a bit of damage. Not too much. Time is starting to be a concern for Team Secret. KZ can hit a flank. Numbers advantage for FURIA allows KZ to do that, and he will have no problem overwhelming one of these attackers.
Destruction being controlled now by Team Secret, but there's a player lurking Logi. That could be a huge problem.
I don't think they know either.
No, they've got no idea.
Savage just needs to step up, and Philippox can kill him through that hole into construction. Philippox is going to get him in just a second. One's good enough. How about a second? No. Savage manages to get out of the way. They find KZ on the flank, and now Savage will hunt down Philippox, who's got the shotgun out. And the Type 89 will go. Philippox hits the ground. Nade a kill off screen. On their map, FURIA takes the lead.
They're reading them so beautifully on the side of FURIA. Like a book they read. And honestly, it feels like FURIA know every move so you're going to make. That round really was reminiscent of a round that we saw last night in their match against Shopify. So you got to imagine Igor, the coach of FURIA, did a good amount of VOD review last night. Able to watch some of that, help out his teammates. Even still, though, like when they had the players outside of those main windows, you saw they tried to open up the con window, but there was a mute jammer on a castle barricade. So now the Hibana can't open that up. And now you can't even play by the windows because your one player, Adrian, that was playing Raptors, ends up going down as well, who was supposed to watch that angle for you. So it just got really messy from Team Secret. And all the things they tried to do were preemptively being countered by FURIA. They got to find something new here, some other way to start off on the right foot. Clubhouse can be quite defender-sided at times, so even if they do lose 4-2, the game's not over. They have the ability to bounce back.
I like that you say can be defender-sided.
Okay.
Because right now, through the 3 plays, this will be the 4th time that this map has been played so far in this event. It is a 50-50 map.
Wow.
49% of rounds won by the defenders, 51% of those rounds won by the attackers. 39 active rounds, not including the 5 that have been played so far. That's really quite fascinating.
Yesterday, for Team Secret, it was a attacker-sided map. They won just 43% of their defenses against Shopify. They will need to do better than that if they want to beat FURIA, no matter how this first half ends.
There's one more 50-50 map, by the way. It's Chalet. Most played map. 112 rounds have been played on Chalet. 56 rounds won by the attackers, 56 rounds won by the defenders. And honestly, pretty even numbers across all the sites, too. Chalet is the fairest map for teams in the map pool at the moment.
Love Chalet.
I do as well.
Jume trying to get his first kill of this map on the Blackbeard now. We'll be playing down towards the main stairs. There is no roam game from FURIA this time around, so it will be kind of a late execute. This is the first time we really see the standard basement. Philippox, surely.
Herds' Nitro Cell works. Philippox with the follow-up. Team Secret had an electrifying start to this map, but since then, Jesse, it has been FURIA all the way down. It's almost as if they needed some time to settle into a different pace from Consulate. With this being FURIA's map, Secret opted to start on attack. That means FURIA will likely excel when the side swaps.
Yeah.
It was incumbent on Secret to win 4 rounds in this first half. They are far from that. Got a read on blue. They know one is coming in that direction. Not blind at all. Groovy and Virtue with 2 kills, but there's more than enough backup. KZ with the very final kill. And it's a 4-2 first half for FURIA. As we said, they didn't choose this side. They now go to presumably the better side, and frustration must be setting in on the side of Secret.
Again, those early round entries on defense is something FURIA do so extremely well. You know, their ability to just work a pick in the early round. They are never afraid, even taking steps like what we saw from Philippox around main stairs, to swing out up against a Blackbeard, use the Nitro Cell as a bit of a distraction, and then hit a beauty flick to get that Blackbeard. That's something that FURIA will do time and time again. They are not afraid to make early aggressive entries on the defense. Even in a 5v5, it's been so consistent, even on strong bomb sites, throughout their time in Rainbow Six Siege over the last couple of years. They've been known to make moves like this, and it's working against a team like Secret, who maybe playing in Europe might not be as used to such an aggressive style. I say that. They've played a multitude of international events. They scrim against these teams all the time. I don't really think it's an experience problem on Secret, but whatever the case is today, they're kind of falling for that, and FURIA, these aggressive moves that they're trying to pull off are not getting punished. Not that it's easy.
Keep in mind, the spanner that got thrown in the works of this group is that most teams thought that CAG would finish bottom of the standings.
Yep.
They are right now sitting at 5 points. No team that has accrued 5 points in the group stages have ever gone home. That means you would need a historic collapse from Cyclops for them to be the team that's eliminated. That means that their position is probably quite good, as is FaZe Clan, as they're above 5 points too. That leaves Shopify Rebellion, Team Secret, and FURIA all fighting to avoid being sent back before we can get into the second phase of this event. Right now, it's anybody's game. All 3 of those teams have put up really good showings in a variety of maps. But at this present moment, it's Team Secret who's maybe a tiny step behind Shopify Rebellion and FURIA. The second half doesn't start off any better than the first half ended, Jesse. Groovy dies to Herds. Oh no, Herds gets picked apart by Savage, who's right now upstairs inside a kitchen. He goes on drone, gets the kill, hits the hatch, and he's gone. A nice answer back from Team Secret, despite suffering that first blow.
Yeah, 1 for 1 is not bad at all. What happens with Joom is really going to define the rest of this round. If he kills Philippox on the Ying, that is such an important pickup that might just be enough to win them the round, even though he's here though.
Joom has 2 operators, technically. Now he has none. He dies after taking down Philippox. KZ trades right back. When FURIA were at their best, this team worked in groups and were able to very quickly trade each other out. They always knew where they were. And while they often are a team of individuals, there was some good coordination between them. This looks more like the old FURIA than we've seen in quite some time. They've honestly had plenty of time to workshop it. It's been 6, 7, 8 months since we saw them at the last event when they were knocked out by Team Liquid in the Manchester Major back in May. Since then, FURIA missed the Major in Montreal and haven't lived up to, I think, their own expectations.
So 40 seconds to make this 3v3 execute work now. JV92 is going to bring Diffuse Kit in through dirt. He's got teammates, looks like nades over by Kitchen. KZ on the top floor as well. Could go for a moto drop, depending on where they want to end up pushing in the end here. Notably, everybody is going to be solo, so watch out.
JV92 gets the opening pick. Might have just bought himself some time. He wanders on in. The Bees will isolate over towards blue. They force Virtue right into JV92's waiting arms. And now it's Adrian trying to wrap around the back of Church through the hallway, finding nade. JV92's confidence shaken, but for a moment, KZ will need to watch over towards blue, and he gets the final pick. Adrian is sat down, and that's a 5th round for FURIA. as they are speed running this best of 3.
They just make it look like a day in the office, don't they? They make it look so easy, Parker. Even when they lose some of these early operators, I said Philippox going down might be the thing that ruins that push for them because they lose their Ying, their primary execute op. But what do? They just lurk one guy down dirt tunnel with the fuse kit, I may add, who finds 2 separate picks. And, you do got to be a little critical of Secret maybe in that bomb site. Not reacting very well to where that push was coming from JV92, but even still, FURIA, their composure, their ability to play that late rounds, the ability to play multiple different positions. Oh, no. I told you JV92 was a bit of a clown, didn't I?
This was a great shot. Look at that.
Yeah, he's a talented clown. Nobody's taking that away from him.
There's opportunities for puns for talented clown, but I just rolled with it.
Okay.
Better to be a talented clown than a talentless clown.
I would agree with that.
I'm glad that we could agree. I think we're at our best when we're friends with each other and not adversaries.
Every player on FURIA is so talented, though. It's why they're such a strong and dominant team.
You can't keep getting away with it.
They all play their roles so well. People often ask who's the best player on FURIA. And I don't think it's even really a fair question because
everybody just spray paint my mouth.
Something so different on that team. Are you going to compare JV92 to KZ to Nade? I mean, they work well as a unit, and that is their strength.
KZ is woken up after a bad game that we saw against CAG Osaka. God knows FURIA needed that. It's okay if Philippox and Nade don't kill as well as the rest of their teammates. That's what their role is designed to do. Philippox didn't get that memo, though. He's got 10 kills so far. He's actually leading the game at the moment.
Philippox, your IGL. You're not supposed to get kills.
Saves over the rest of them. Gives them to Groovy. So I will say, Groovy and Adrian are both sitting at 6 kills each. This is significantly better than what we saw out of them yesterday against Shopify Rebellion. JV92 is forced out of this position over towards Catwalk. Erds is the only player who's taken any damage, and now he's been dropped. I'm very curious as to... Oh, I think he fell off the roof.
That was after he got down. He got shot to be downed and then dropped off so that he could get picked up later. Not the focus, though. They've got to clear this cache extension first, and it's being rather difficult for FURIA.
Joom is finished off by JV92. Joom at 1-8. That is an unideal scoreline at the moment. Groovy will now watch red stairs, and JV92 is within the vicinity. So JV92 could do some damage, but there's a Kiba barrier that will give Groovy a bit of protection. Groovy needs to pick his engagement. Nade's also out on that catwalk. Down goes JV92. KZ will follow shortly thereafter. Groovy looks for one, and he will secure that pick onto Nade. It's Herds and Philippox as the last 2 remaining make that just Philippox. It's a very tough position to be in. He's not going to find a single kill.
Flame up, bro. Let's go. Come on.
They sweep through him. FURIA will have some stumbles even if they win this map. Team Secret desperately needing that round to stay in the action.
Like this from Twister, the coach standing behind the team. He's got to get some energy into these guys. They've got to use that round win to roll it into more. This comeback is not impossible, but it will be difficult, and even more so. They don't believe in themselves if they're not hyped up for during these big moments where they do win those rounds. It was just a classic, solid, zombie-focused cache extension, and I mean, sometimes that's all it takes. JV92 managed to crack it open a little bit with the Blackbeard, but it didn't matter in the end. The trades came out quite nicely from Team Secret, and they worked around those Kiba barriers, worked around their reinforcements. That's all it takes. Teamwork and multiple different angles can be enough to win those gunfights. It is not easy to clear a cache extension like that. Didn't see anybody from FURIA going down below, which opened up that space for Secret to take it. And now they can hold cache once again because it's not going to be an extension. It's going to be the bomb site for CCTV cache.
I'm gonna kind of wag my finger a little bit at FURIA and their droning for that particular map, or in that particular round on this map. I didn't really see much gain from intel either, and I mean, FURIA is a team that isn't really known for extraordinarily good droning. All of the things we talk about with FURIA, very little of it really does come down to what might be the strongest gadget in the entire game. If you're going to brute force your way into the bomb site, you got to win your gunfights, and that's obviously a major problem here. This is a... Wow. Almost never see that bandit trick.
Yeah. He gets it done, though, and then the Kiba barrier covers his retreat. That's good tech.
Brilliant stuff. And he's got the castle barricade blocking the door as well. They have completely devised this plan to stop a single can opener.
Boy, they thought of everything.
Admittedly, while it's just a can opener, keeping that garage panel closed is huge for the defenders. It won't last that long because it's actually very easy to shoot that bandit battery.
Yeah, that gives them an angle onto Adrian now, of course, up top rafters. You might think, why are they even breaching that? But obviously, it's a very popular angle to deal with that one position that Adrian's now playing. Sitting on the default cameras. These Kibas, these castles, they've all been a huge problem for FURIA. They haven't brought much util to clear that out. There's 2 nades on the side of Herds. Otherwise, it's going to be really difficult to take rafters here. I don't know what the game plan's going to end up being for FURIA. Maybe I just walk the Monty in, I suppose.
Will he get an escort up these stairs? That's the question. Zombie's still playing in this position. Fleepox will see that as a very distinct silhouette as Groovy bops up and down on that position. You're going to need to put some pressure on either this castle barricade or on the wall. Another player from Team Secret sits in that angle, grenade primed and ready, and they'll get dropped right on their head like an anvil. Down goes Adrian. No real opportunity there. Now JV92 will try to engage. It's a tough shot to make. Groovy manages to evade the grenade and goes for a second. How about a third? No, his luck will run out. Fleepox punishing him, and now Raptor control will go to FURIA. They have to translate this to the bomb site with 50 seconds left.
Take a moment here, reposition KZ Red. It's the pick.
That's Red control. You've got Raptors control. You can now slowly squeeze these players out. Savage will assume the position on top Red as KZ is now fallen downstairs. Monty inside of the bomb site is a huge impediment. And Fleepox will get the diffuser to the halfway mark. Savage tempting over towards the breach. He stops it. Where's the coverage? KZ was caught. Unfortunately, as he was trying to rotate back to the bomb site, the smoke managing to get away. KZ with limited intel, limited time. It's just him and Savage in a 1v1. And KZ misplays it, but he doesn't know where Savage is, so he takes a guess, and the guess is not good. Another round for Secret. They're 1 round away from closing the gap.
Savage, the IGL, gets it done in the 1v1. Big moves coming out from Secret to win that round. It would look very scary in the 2v3 once that Monty plant started to come out, but it was really that aggression from Secret in the late round, making the moves to go for the swings and retake that space, retake that man advantage, and Savage steps up late. Massive plays coming out from the players on Team Secret. They continue the momentum, and they're now just 1 round away from striking distance and tying up the game. Good play from Groovy up inside of Raptors as well. We didn't see it, but there's the typing. He said, JV, are you still here?
JV said yes, by the way.
Yeah, he responded, I am.
Kudos to him for playing along.
Yeah, he's a good sport.
All the way over on the A stream, by the way, we have Virtus Pro and W7M going to a 3rd map.
Oh.
That's the major defending champions of W7M. Virtus Pro, it's been a long time since they won anything. But they are consistently a force to be reckoned with.
We keep casting the same couple of groups, Parker. I feel like we haven't seen those teams at all.
We have casted the same 7 teams. I don't know who made this schedule. It wasn't us. We just keep on the same, oh my, Virtue, run, 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 run. That's a Blackbeard. Grenade will go down. He wants to exchange his own Nitro Cell, and it will get the down. Oh my. Fleepox will need to be retrieved. Virtue lost a lot of life in the process. Blackbeard is back up, but he and Herds will suffer greatly for this. FURIA still have a timeout if things continue to go from bad to worse. This is the downstairs bomb site. FURIA are trying to get there very quickly. They're wasting no time at all. Maybe 92 liked this position before when he was here on the Maverick. Now he's on Sledge, and he still wants to play this tiny pixel angle inside a dirt tunnel.
Doesn't have defuse kit this time around. We can play a little bit more aggressive.
Leapox did. It's been traded off to Nade now. Logic bombs will go. This is a really tough angle. Oh my, almost caught with his pants down. The grenade works. It sends Adrian sky high. Savage is there to follow up. I don't want to say that JV92 could have been a bit more patient with his gun out because he still did get one. But with the HP of Herds and Felipox, FURIA cannot be happy with the state of the game at the moment. At least they've done some damage to Savage and Virtue. It's a little bit over a minute still to go in this round. Attackers are supposed to have the advantage here. Or else why would Secret go to this side to start with?
I mean, again, a lot of teams do just like starting on the side that is more difficult to get it out of the way. Something G2 have talked about in the past. I know Liquid like that as well. This might just be the side that Secret are feeling better on. Although they're going to have to hold down the site 3v4 as Savage falls to Herds.
Virtue's got one lined up. He was prepared and ready for Herds in that position. Where will the Blackbeard go? Based on the blue silhouettes on our map, they are all spread out. Leapox inside a dirt tunnel. Now there's damage from KZ to almost kill Joom, who might be going 1 in 10. Keep a barrier dropped. Grenade goes over. Joom will indeed go 1 in 10. It's Virtue and Groovy is the last two alive. Groovy looking to break double digits. Nobody other than Savage on this team has been able to pull it off. Savage had a bit of a slow start, but he's picked things up. It's all up to Groovy to try to hold this intact. He gets one over towards blue. Diffuser going down. Felipox watching. Around the boxes is Nade. Down goes Felipox, Nade, and Groovy in a 1v1. A single point of HP for Groovy. Nade just needs to play this one well. And Secret wins on time. He bailed on the plant. I thought for certain that Diffuser had gone down. He must have gotten off at the last second to go into that engagement. FURIA seemingly letting emotions get to them. Over the last two rounds, there's been some panic in the side of FURIA. I am not surprised at all to see them call their timeout. They're not playing like we know they can.
No, I mean, Nade pulling off at the last second there. He saw that, he heard the sprinting. It was a little bit farther away than maybe he thought. Took a couple of gunfights there at the last 1v1, but just couldn't find it in time. And Groovy, maybe we shouldn't have typed at this guy. He is now top fragging the team and just one behind the top frags of FURIA. He has been popping off ever since JV92 typed in the chat. I don't know. Feels a little bit like he's heating up. That push from Secret, a bit all over the place. Push from FURIA, I should say. Felt good. The defense was struggling to hold on. Dropping bodies left and right as Felipox on the Blackbeard was making a ton of space for his teammates in that 3v3. But the response was always there on the clutch gene. It runs in the family of Groovy. I really like how they were willing to expand outside the bomb site in that round, both inside a dirt tunnel and then main stairs. We saw it from Adrian, then we saw it from Virtue. They were really happy to just push up and stop FURIA before they really could set up around the bomb site, and that made it into a 3v3 push rather than an awkward kind of 5v5 where FURIA probably would have been more favored. That's something that FURIA themselves did quite well on the defense, getting those opening picks, working that early advantage on defense. Secret have done a great job of it here in the second half, and not for that exact reason, they have tied it 5-5. We might just see Skyscraper after all, Parker.
I'm starting to get that feeling, Jesse. And honestly, I really don't want to say what I'm about to say, but a lot of like these last two rounds have not made me feel like it's Secret winning the rounds. It feels like on the last two rounds, it was FURIA losing them. That last round in particular. KZ's 1v1 against Savage, that one literally can go either way.
Sure.
But you got Groovy on the run in a 1v3. Bogged down inside a church, all you need to do is stick the Blackbeard in a position where he can't be dealt with. Have them trust in the plant. Groovy's been playing around blue for most of these rounds. You should have some knowledge of his spot. Good clutches usually involve your opponent making a mistake.
Yeah.
FURIA made some mistakes in that previous round. Ruby capitalized off of it. Kudos to him for that. FURIA are far from a perfect team, but some of these mistakes seem below their potential.
Yeah, FURIA, though, they've got their tack timeout. Now they can kind of reformulate a plan. Gym bedroom will be our bomb site for round number 11. And instead of clearing through the cache side, FURIA are opting, looks like they're going to go straight direct. Jacuzzi wall being opened up early. Diffuse kit's still over here. They might get some players down below, try to walk up the main stairs at some points. Probably going to have some pressure on the Logi hatch. Yes, it will be JV92 down here.
That's a heck of a shot. JV92 trying to take the head off the Azami. That did not work well for FURIA the last time they tried that in Rafters, if you recall.
And KZ doing exactly what we saw at a Team Secret. With one player lurking Rafters to deny this cache window. It was Adrian, yeah. There's nobody even in CCTV nor cache. Virtue's not far away, but that means that they can start playing these windows with some safety. It can be a little scary sometimes playing the site windows on this bomb site, but they've got the cover.
Herds eliminating Joom, looking for another as the Azami is just close enough to that bed to be dealt with. Grenade goes in as one player will drop off. There goes Adrian. Savage now down as well. Philippok's the only casualty on the side of FURIA. A very different team has emerged from this timeout. KZ reads Virtue's return to the site at top of red. And it's the defending world champs now sitting on series point.
Big thing that changed between last round and this round, they didn't lose any bodies before they went for their execute. That was a full 5v5, and Secret weren't able to work any of those picks. You saw a slight opportunity as Groovy took a gunfight over on the gym hatch, but otherwise, FURIA had everything they wanted. They had all 5 players, and as soon as somebody said 3, 2, 1, go, they went. We were watching that for the POV of the Nook over by Rafters.
Oh, here it comes.
JV, last time you typed, it did not go well, brother. I'm just saying, be careful. It is series point for you, and FURIA have played well so far today. It was a great final round, but you're only one away from overtime.
Joom doesn't even dignify that with a response.
It's hard to type when you're 1-11, I gotta say, Parker. It's
what
hard
can
to type
you
back.
say at that point? Like,
yeah.
Whenever I play games myself and I'm doing poorly and somebody smack talks me, I'm like, I just sit there so defeated because I know there's nothing I can actually say. What am I gonna do? You got me.
My 1 kill was really impactful, actually.
I don't even know when Joom got that 1 kill.
I have no idea. It was early. He's been on 1 for a minute now.
You want to know a fascinating fact?
Tell me your fascinating fact, Parker.
We are heading to round 12.
Wow, fascinating.
FURIA has 11 first bloods.
Jeez.
Now, mind you, 2 of them were trades.
Sure.
Round 2 and round 10 were both trades, so there was really nothing gained from that. But that means in 9 other rounds, FURIA has been able to, or well, I suppose technically 8 rounds if you included this as the 12th round.
Right.
They have had a sizable advantage for a period of time, and yet they haven't been able to translate all of those. Conversion rate has not been great for them. They've dropped 4 of those rounds where they struck first. Some maps you see, you get the first blood, you win it all.
Yep.
This time around, FURIA has been so strong. Uh-oh. Oh! He thought he had nade dead to rights. Virtue slaughtered as the metal shielding falls off of the wall. Bad start for Team Secret. Now they'll be hunted down by one of those logic bombs. Groovy misplaying a Kiba barrier. Adrian getting aggressive not too far below. Both of them harassed by drones as they're thrown in towards the bomb site. Adrian's also lost some of the protection over towards that top of blue.
Just another opening pick, Parker. Written in the stars. They're still just outside the bomb site trying to work a pick. Drone goes in, so does Hertz.
That is a very brazen play. They talked about Joom, and he gets 2 kills, and he might have just turned the round on its head, Jesse. Again, JV92 shouldn't be typing to these players.
Somebody disable his keyboard. He can keep the keys that need to be played the game. WASD is fine, but somebody's got to disable the rest of them.
He's not allowed to crouch. Or run. Or slow walk.
He's got to get one of those MMO mice that
or
has
lean,
like
or
100
lean.
buttons.
Down goes Adrian at the hands of JV92, so you'll have to shut down these last 3 players. Savage on the vigil with the Boss G. He's going to have the SMG-12 as his secondary. He's playing far enough back. The Boss G did get nerfed, but it's still enough to drop players at closer range. You're only going to have 2 opportunities, though. That thing kicks like a mule. Him versus JV92. He's missing the first shot. Disoriented by Nade. JV92 with another. Running forward. Down goes Nade. Frozen out of the sight. June tossing out a Nitro Cell. It's all up to Groovy. Groovy clutched just a couple rounds ago. Can he pull it off again? This time, it would send his team to OT. Philippox getting the diffuser down, absorbing an awful lot of damage. Groovy still at full HP. But look at Philippox and JV92. Both so low. JV92 is the last word. And he stabs a dagger through the hearts of Team Secret. Tense moments for the Brazilians. But FURIA get the job done. A 2-0 victory. And Team Secret still winless at the Six Invitational.
And that's why he's allowed to type. To be clear.
You can't just change your mind like that.
Listen, when he gets a 4K on the round, I absolutely can. JV92, fantastic final round there. Obviously stepping up big time for FURIA. The respect being paid now as they will shake hands. It's all fun and game inside the server.
It's not real.
No. These players know that. Smiles on the faces. Team Secret, not going to be happy with that performance, though. At least yesterday, you could look back at their series against Shopify Rebellion and say, well, Secret, they played really well on at least 2 of those maps. Today, didn't feel like it was the same. Their clubhouse was okay. I liked the comeback. Their defenses looked pretty solid, but it just wasn't enough against the world champions.
And honestly, props to Groovy for having an incredible match. He showed up when they needed him the most, but Secret just couldn't close it out. The rest of the team not doing well enough. That's it for this series. There's another one coming up. Let's throw to a quick break, and then we'll talk about what we saw between FURIA and Secret.